Hi everybody, and thank you for clicking on this video. I really went back and forth as to whether or not I wanted to post about microblading because I am not a beauty blogger, not even a little. I actually shy away from these types of things because I have absolutely no knowledge of anything here. Frankly, I'm still trying to learn how to put makeup on. You can probably tell. But one thing that I have learned is about microblading because I did it. And I was going to post a video after I got it done, but instead, for whatever reason, I didn't. So now I'm at the 6-month marker, and I want to share with you what's happened over the last 6 months, and also let you know that you don't have to be 20-something, nor do you have to get eyebrows that look like they're 20-something in order to make microblading work. Another thing I want to share with you is I'm going to post below about the person who did my eyebrows, but this is not an ad. I paid for the process, but I just want to share it with you because I know a lot of women struggle with thinning eyebrows, or you just want more eyebrow. I remember doing a whole lot of eyebrow plucking in the 90s, like a lot. And then there comes a day where it just doesn't grow back. And so that's what I was dealing with. And take a look, this is what my eyebrows look like before I did microblading. I mean, they're tiny little skinny lines. I had a mostly full line, but it was a very skinny line. So I decided that I was going to microblade. And I know you're probably saying, let me see your eyebrows, let me see your eyebrows. So I'm gonna scoot in so you can see them because I have nothing on them today. And this is 6 months in, okay? So that's where we're going to start. Some of you might find the video a little bit squeamish, like if you're about to eat or if you have a weak stomach, like this is probably not the video for you because there is a little bit of blood that goes on. But microblading is not a giant tattoo eyebrow. That's not what this is. This has kind of evolved from what was originally the eyebrow tattoo, and these are little strokes, like tattoos, that mimic hairs. And I can get right up on somebody, and I have, and said, hey, can you tell that I've had my eyebrows microbladed? And they can't tell. It looks like hair to them, which is why I think this is such an incredible process that goes on.
You actually see that little hole right here. It's gonna drive me nuts. In the meantime, put up filled in right now.
I wonder if you can hear it on the video.
I don't know, it almost sounds like crickets chirping to me. Yeah, it sounds crazy. Okay, so now as soon as I add this epinephrine to it, you're gonna start bleeding. It's the oddest thing because epinephrine, it's actually a constrictor, so it's making you stop bleeding, but it actually makes you start to bleed. So don't get nervous if you see this start to bleed because it's this product that I'm putting on you.
Okay. So is that my blood?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. It's not like I feel it because I don't feel it.
Good.
Because I'm all numb.
Now, as this constricts, it makes you bleed for about a minute, and then it completely stops the bleeding. It's amazing. And it numbs you up nicely. So this is epinephrine that you're getting right now. You can see how it makes you bleed a little, nothing major. A lot of this is the actual product on there too. Okay, so you can see where we've started to build it. I haven't used any color. Those are all just little, more or less little paper cuts that you're looking at. So in a minute, once you're numb, I'll rub color down into each one of those little reservoirs, and then I'll go back in and build it some more because it is too sparse right now.
And since I'm going to show this video to a couple of people, can you explain what's going on this eyebrow?
This eyebrow, I've penciled it on with a color that's way too dark for you. I've just penciled on my, almost like a coloring book page for myself, and then I put the little hairs right inside that shape.
Okay.
Yeah. So here I'm going to put some more of this topical on you. You've already, for the most part, stopped bleeding, so it works quickly.
What is microblading?
It is a blade and then I dip it in the pigment, and then I actually am cutting almost like a little, it's supposed to simulate the shape of a hair, but it's just a little tiny cut into your, don't look at my double chin, no. It's just a little tiny cut into your dermis that allows me to put the ink or the pigment down into your dermis. So it is a tattoo. There's a lot of controversy right now. Is it a tattoo? Is it not? If I go a little more shallow, it's only in the epidermis, so I don't have to have a license to do it. And there's a bunch of controversy over that right now. But if it's done properly, it is in your dermis, and it is a tattoo. It's performed with different inks, hopefully. That's the way it should be. You shouldn't be using a body art ink on your face, but it's still the same principle, and it is a tattoo.
I should probably mention, when I first got in there, she asked me what I use on my eyebrows. And at that point, I was using the Anastasia products. I was using 2 different colors. I was using the blonde for the top part, and then I was using caramel underneath, because I had so much I had to draw, and I didn't want it to be really dark, because that's another problem that women, especially older women, have, is you don't want your eyebrows to be too dark, because that defeats the purpose, because it's supposed to make you look younger until you do them too dark, and then you end up looking older, right? So I've learned this along the way as well. And we were actually quite conservative with my eyebrows. I didn't want 20-something eyebrows. That's actually my fear the night before I went in was, oh my God, she's gonna end up making these giant eyebrows and I'm gonna look like an idiot. But no, she said, you decide, you tell me how big you want them, you tell me the color that you want, you pretty much get to decide all of that. And so that really put me at ease. But on top of everything else, they numb your eyebrows, so you don't feel anything anyway. And yes, you hear some of the scraping, but it's almost an out-of-body experience because you don't feel it. A couple other things to point out. After you get the microblading done, you're gonna look a little weird for a few days, so you can't actually wash your face for a week. And I tried everything. I tried me using my hand, but anyway, so you can use wipes, you can do whatever you need to do to try and get everything washed without getting those eyebrows wet. But for the first few days, you put like a petroleum jelly type substance on your eyebrows so they don't get dry and cracked, but eventually they do kind of scab over a little bit. What's interesting though is that I was a little paranoid about that, and I wore a hat for a few days, when in fact no one could tell but me. I had to point it out to people, and the only thing they said was, oh, I just noticed your eyebrows looked a little darker and they were a really nice shape. So that was a little comforting to me as well, because I was really paranoid. I was walking around looking kind of crazy, but I wasn't. But here's what I will tell you. I am, again, I'm 6 months in now, and this process is supposed to last about a year. I think it's give or take depending on how well you treat them. But I'm 6 months in and I'm still very, very happy with what she's done. I do go in every once in a while and I touch up certain little areas, because at the 6 month marker, that's when they start to fade a little bit. But overall, I am very happy. One of the things that I've learned to do is when I'm washing my face at night, I don't scrub my eyebrows, nor do I put any nighttime creams or lotions or potions on it as well, because everything on them, because everything you do ultimately affects how long they're going to stay. And I want to keep them as long as possible, so I try to avoid that area whenever I'm washing or whatever. But I'm good to them, and so they have in turn been good to me. I'm trying to remember the name of the color that we used on mine. It's a very typical color. It doesn't stand out. As you notice, my eyebrows just look like my eyebrows. They don't look like anything that are jarring or attention grabbing. They just kind of add to this crazy face of mine. So I want to know what your questions are, because I know you're going to have some. People always ask me questions about it whenever I tell them I've had microblading done. I went through quite a bit of time finding the right person, right? You've got to find someone who is certified, licensed. They've got to have all that going on. But you also want to check reviews and look at pictures, before and after pictures. And Ink Boutique is where I got mine done, and she has great reviews. I will tell you this though, the process itself is not cheap. It is, drumroll, $495. Now, what that means is it's actually saving me time and money. It truly is saving me time and money. And so for me, it's worth it. If you are considering it, let me know, ask me questions, give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe and ring my bell if you want to hear about the new products that we're testing, because every week we try out something new. This is actually separate from the work stuff that I do, but I thought I would include this video because I feel like you want to know, right? See those eyebrows moving? You like them? I still like them. See ya.